video number 59. And for this video, I'm going to read a little bit out of Isaiah chapter 59, and if there's time, continue into chapter 60. And little by little, hopefully, the audience will indeed start to bear fruit and have a gift offering for Jehovah, ready to present to Jesus Christ when he does appear. So let's get started in Isaiah chapter 59, and this is about a covenant made to a very special group of people, a covenant that God himself, Jehovah, makes. And I really don't hear a lot of Christians talking about this covenant. So the question I want my audience to ask is whether Jehovah is making this covenant with you. So here we go. I'll start in Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 20. And to Zion the Repurchaser will certainly come, and to those turning from transgression in Jacob is the utterance of Jehovah. So, have you been bought, repurchased? And if you have been repurchased, what have you been bought from? Good thing to think about, because at one time, as ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, we were all in a very dark place where the scriptures say in 2 Thessalonians, where we were perishing. So, have we been repurchased? And if so, by who? So, let's keep going and take a look at this covenant. Okay? So, it's mentioned in the next verse, verse 21 of Isaiah chapter 59. It says, "And as for me, this is my covenant with them. My spirit that is upon you, and my words that I have put in your mouth. They will not be removed from your mouth, or from the mouth of your offspring, or from the mouth of the offspring of your offspring. Jehovah has said, from now on, even to time indefinite." That's quite the covenant. A promise, a contract to people who have been repurchased. Jehovah will put words in your mouth. So, to which people does Jehovah put words in their mouth? Well, if you've been going down this rabbit hole, you should already know the answer, but I'll read it anyway. And it's in John chapter 15. So, to which people does Jehovah himself put his words in their mouth? John chapter 15, verse 26. when the Helper arrives, that I will send you from the Father, Jehovah, the Spirit of the truth. That one will bear witness about me, and you in turn are to bear witness, because you have been with me from when I began. So Jehovah himself is putting words in your mouth. And so how does he do that? And to who does he do it? What special group of people does he do this to? Because isn't this a fulfillment of the covenant that we just heard in Isaiah chapter 59? So let's keep reading, and now it goes into John chapter 16 and verse 1. I have spoken these things to you that you may not be stumbled. Men will expel you. Name of person is no longer one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Men will expel you. So in Isaiah chapter 59, this was a promise, a covenant made to a very special group of people. Do you think Jehovah would break his promise? Or has he fulfilled it? Has Jehovah now put words in your mouth? So think about all the other convincing evidences that you might have learned as you traveled down this very deep rabbit hole. Families have been divided. People have been taken away from a place of darkness, and they are now indeed being brought into his wonderful light. And there are people being hated by their brothers and excluded by reason of God's actual name. And here's a covenant in Isaiah chapter 59, something Jehovah promised to a very special group of people. He would put words in their mouth. So has that happened? And if Jehovah has now put words in your mouth, what should you do? You in turn are to bear witness. Witness to what? Witness to all the same things that we have been learning as we traveled down this rabbit hole. Things concerning sin, concerning righteousness, the truth, and concerning judgment. So, has he kept his promise? And are those words now in your mouth? And how did he do it? He did it exactly as he said he would, or as Jesus Christ said he would, in John chapter 15. Words have been put in your mouth. So let's go back to Isaiah chapter 59. my Spirit that is upon you, and my words that I have put in your mouth, they will not be removed from your mouth, or from the mouth of your offspring, or from the mouth of the offspring of your offspring. Jehovah has said, from now on, even to times indefinite. God's kingdom that will last to times indefinite. So are these the same people? Is this covenant being made with the people who will live in God's kingdom to times indefinite? So let's keep going. And now we're in Isaiah chapter 60. There it says, "Arise, O woman, shed forth light, for your light has come, and upon you the very glory of Jehovah has shone forth." So has your light come? And has the glory of Jehovah shone forth upon you? Good question. So now let's go to 1 Peter, the Apostle Peter's first letter, and find out about this light and whether it has indeed come. So here it is in the first letter of the Apostle Peter in chapter 2, and I'll start in verse 9. It says there, "But you are a chosen race." Are these the people to whom Jehovah made that covenant, that he would put words in their mouth? "But you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for special possession." Possession to times indefinite? "That you should declare abroad the excellencies of the one that called you out of darkness into his wonderful light." Do you see where that light comes from? But let's keep going. Who is the Apostle Peter talking about here? "For you were once not a people, but are now God's people. You were those who had not been shown mercy, but are now those who have been shown mercy." So, have you been shown mercy? And you were once not God's people, and are you now God's people? The ones to whom he made that covenant, that he would put words in your mouth? Well, I'm sure you all know the answer to that question too, but let's find the answer anyway. It's in Romans chapter 9 and verse 25. Here we are. So, were you once not God's people, but now you are God's people? Here's what it says in Romans 9 verse 25. "It is as he says also in Hosea, those not my people I will call my people, and her who was not beloved, beloved. And in the place where it was said to them, you are not my people, there, in that place, they will be called sons of the living God. So, is that someone precious? Like it says here in Peter's first letter? But you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for special possession, that you should declare abroad the excellencies of the one that called you out of darkness and into his wonderful light. So now let's go back to Isaiah chapter 60. And it will continue now in verse 2. Because remember in verse 1 it said he's asking us to shed forth light. So if we've come into his wonderful light, we're now being asked to shed forth that same wonderful light. You in turn are to bear witness. And so now, if we do that, if we were to shed forth that wonderful light, what might happen? So we'll continue in verse 2. It says, for look, darkness itself will cover the earth, and thick gloom the national groups. But upon you, Jehovah will shine forth, and upon you, his own glory will be seen. And nations will certainly go to your light, and kings to the brightness of your shining forth. Kings, nations. So, if we were to shed forth this light, nations and kings will go to that light. So, how could that happen? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 66. And we'll start in verse 20 this time. It's towards the end of the book of Isaiah, chapter 66. And it says, and they will actually bring all your brothers out of all the nations as a gift to Jehovah, on horses and in chariots and in covered wagons and on mules and on swift she-camels, up to my holy mountain Jerusalem. Jehovah has said, just as when the sons of Israel bring the gift in a clean vessel into the house of Jehovah. And so now look at what it says in verse 21. And from them also I shall take some for the priests, for the Levites. Jehovah has said. So, did you get that? If we shed forth this light, nations and also kings will come. So, it says here, he'll take some for priests and for Levites. Kings. So, that would be an extraordinarily valuable gift offering, wouldn't it? So if you in this audience were to obey God's commandment, you in turn are to bear witness and shed forth light. Nations and kings will come to that light. Jehovah will choose from among some of those people, Levites and priests, kings. Wow. So maybe what it says in Daniel chapter 12 makes more sense now. It says in Daniel chapter 12 verse 3, and the ones having insight will shine like the brightness of the expanse, and those who are bringing the many to righteousness, the truth, like the stars to time indefinite, even forever. And there's another scripture. It's in Matthew chapter 13. Matthew chapter 13 and verse 43. It says, at that time, the righteous ones will shine as brightly as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. So, do you hope to be one of those people? Let's go back to Isaiah. Chapter 59. And we'll start again from verse 21. And as for me, this is my covenant with them. Jehovah has said, my spirit that is upon you, and my words that I have put in your mouth, they will not be removed from your mouth, or from the mouth of your offspring, or from the mouth of the offspring of your offspring. Jehovah has said, from now on, even to time indefinite. And Isaiah chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, O woman, shed forth light. For your light has come, and upon you the very glory of Jehovah has shone forth. So, if Jehovah has put words in your mouth concerning righteousness, the truth, then you in turn are to bear witness, shed forth your light, and then you will shine as brightly as the sun in the kingdom of your Father.